Oh, thank you, beloveds. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm just pleased to be here with you and just to share with you the presence of God. So I invite you in this moment to just take a breath. Just receive a gift that God has given. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through parted lips and with a sigh. It is truly good that God is with us. Breathe in again, another breath, and release it with a sigh. Having no care and no worries what has happened in the past, and no worries or concern what is going to happen in the future. Being in this present moment, in the peace that surpasses all understanding in this moment. I am grateful. I know that there is one presence, the presence of love, the presence that I choose at this moment to call God. And this love, this God, this total support is everywhere present. This love is infinite. This love is eternal. This love is intimate and personal to each of us. This love, this is all supportive, all knowing, all power. It is the final say in any situation. The final outcome, the final result is love. And God is love. So I know that I and do those of us who are listening to this and those of us who are elsewhere doing other things, I know that we are created. We are the manifestations of this love. And being manifestations of this love, we are perfect, whole, and complete as we stand, as we are. We, regardless of our behavior, regardless, are deserving of the world that works for everyone. We are deserving of love and support. We are deserving of all good things, of all wholesome things, of all things coming from God. So in examining a world that works and in affirming and accepting a world that works for everyone, we can imagine each of us standing on a high hill, just standing on a hill. As we take in a breath, release it with a sigh. We're standing there, each of us, and there is a bridge that spans across from our hill to a mountain that is in front of us. Taking in another breath and releasing, we see this mountain, a beautiful mountain, reaching up into the beautiful, beautiful sky, the clouds around the top of it. And we see a light coming from this mountain, coming down this mountain. And as it goes around the mountain, it disappears, it comes around again, a brilliant white light. And we know this is the light and love of God that is coming to nurture and support each of us. This light, the intention of this light is to come and give each of us love as we stand there waiting across the bridge for it to come. As the light approaches and it gets to the base of the bridge, it is coming. The only intent of this light is to bathe us in love. And we stand across on the other side of the bridge, awaiting the light as it travels across the bridge, as it travels across the bridge to come to each of us. And as we are standing on this hill, on the top of this hill, we see an expanse of people in all directions around us as we move our eyes just a moment off the light as we know it's coming. We see people as far as we can see, as far as we can see. People in all types of situations, people in all types of understanding. As the light approaches and mirrors to us, we open our hearts to receive the love that is God's love coming to us. And as it reaches each of us, we open our arms, we take a breath, we release with a sigh and open our hearts even more as the love just engulfs us. The love, the pure love of God just comes into our heart. And we just know this white light is around us, is going through us, and is just staying with us. And we just store up this light, knowing that it is infinite, infinite flow into us, infinite flow of God's love. As we take in another breath and open our hearts even further, we now send this light out into the world. And it goes out as a fine mist over the heads of the people that we see, just stretching beyond our imagination. We see this light healing people. We see this light correcting situations. We see this light just loving folks up. And the more light that comes into our hearts, the more light we can give out. Because we know that the store of love and light from God is infinite, is eternal, is everlasting, and ever giving to us. So we see the joy of the people below us as they move toward a world that works for everyone. We see guns being laid down. We see people being healed. We see people being fed. We see people being nurtured. We see the light of God, and we see the result. So we continue to receive that light. We continue to give that light out. Even when we are not thinking of it, we know that the flow from us, from God to us, is always there and always present. We know we have a storehouse of that love, and we understand and know that we constantly give it out into infinity, into this world and beyond. So I know as I stand here now, I know as I am giving this and talking and speaking with you now, I affirm and accept that the love of God is in every aspect of every one of our lives. The love of God is in our environment. The love of God is in our bodies and in our health and in our healing. The love of God is in our money, is in our resources. The love of God is in our passions, is in everything, everything that we do, everything that we say and think, because we know that we are powerful. We are the centers of the love of God, each of us, each of us. So I just give thanks. I am grateful for a time that manifests a world that works for me, that works for us, that works for everyone, every being. I give thanks. So I also I release into the mind of God, and release back into my own heart and my own being, and I release into the light of law, the light and the law. I release all of this. I release it, knowing that it is cared for, that the seeds are already planted in fertile ground. And anything that is unlike this, any false, any lie, any construct that is unlike this love is like a seed cast upon a rock where it withers and dies. So I'm just grateful once again. I'm grateful for the law. I'm grateful for this time. And I know that my blessings, your blessings, as we speak this prayer, are sent up and inward, and they come back to us, multiplied, pressed down, and running over. So if you agree with me with all of this, with the joy and all that is coming and all that is here now, please anchor it by saying Ashe, Amen, and so it perfectly is.